Now, McLaren, second overall in the Constructors' Championship. They just passed Ferrari for that position. They've very much recently been the closest team to challenging Red Bull on a regular basis, but grading them is so tough in my opinion, not just for the team but also the driver, because McLaren, despite their incredible performance uptake, I mean, they've gone from 4th in the Constructors at the end of 23 to 2nd place and potentially getting so close to winning their first Constructors' Championship since 1998. Despite that, for me, it is not a slam dunk in what grade I'm going to give them, and I'll tell you why. Because both McLaren and Lando Norris, for me, have made some mistakes throughout this season. Lando Norris notably making a mistake when it comes to Hungary, in my opinion. I think he should have followed the team orders straight away, given Piastri the place back and then challenged him, but as it was, he decided to let Piastri go, and this is something he's admitted himself as well after the race, that he should have let Piastri go straight away, so then he can actually challenge for the first place position, because at that point they would have been free to race. Norris only got ahead because of McLaren's team strategy, which I believe also was a mistake. I don't think they should have pitted Norris early to cut off Lewis Hamilton like they did, because frankly the gap between Norris and Lewis Hamilton was so great that the chance of an undercut for Hamilton was basically nil. It wasn't going to happen, not at that point anyway, unless they left it like 5 laps or so. Also, on the team point of view, there have been mistakes when it comes to strategy. In Canada, you know, it seemed like they should have let Norris pit earlier than he did, but I believe he was pretty much past the pit lane at that point, so I will give him a little bit of a pass on that one. But the strategy during the British Grand Prix in particular was a big mistake. You know, they didn't double stack Norris and Piastri, and they also didn't pit Norris first, straight away, when it was going from the wet tyres to the dry tyres in the latter stages, and because of that he got passed by Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, and they also put him on what I would say were the wrong tyres for those conditions. They should have either gone for the soft or the hard, but they went middle of the road in the medium, and it was neither here nor there in terms of the overall pace and the actual durability of the tyre. And what can't be denied is that right now McLaren have one of the fastest cars in Formula 1. For me, it's between them, Mercedes and Red Bull. They are all very close in terms of their overall performance. And if you look at the uptick in performance for a customer team to be beating Mercedes for the most part, beating them overall in the Constructors' Championship, so close to Red Bull, who dominated last year's championship. Like, Verstappen would have won the championship by himself. It didn't even need Sergio Perez to be there. They could have entered a one-car team. He's a one-man team pretty much at that point. So for me, McLaren to actually catch Red Bull and surpass them in terms of performance and be in with a shout of winning the Constructors' Championship, for me, I can't give them anything else other than an A grade. It'd probably be an A minus if I had to be specific with it, because of the mistakes. They've not been perfect, but the thing is, like I've spoke about before on these grades, they've set themselves up so well to challenge in the second half of the season. Momentum is massive in this sport, and Oscar Piastri getting his first win as well, I think is huge, and that for me has elevated him up to an A grade. I believe I gave him a B grade in my mid-season grades, but that was before the Hungarian Grand Prix. He's now won a race, and for me, he's so close to Lando Norris in the championship. I mean, what is it? It's 32 points at the moment, which is a decent gap, but that gap is coming down. That gap is coming down, and I think over the last 5-6 races, Piastri has been the highest scorer of any driver in Formula 1, even higher than reigning champion Max Verstappen. So for me, that's why I'm giving Norris and Piastri an A. I'd also give them A minuses just because Piastri's only just elevated himself to an A for me, and Norris himself has made some little errors. He has made some decisions that perhaps he shouldn't have done in terms of his driving overall, but he is the closest challenger to Max Verstappen, and he finished second place to Max consistently for a while as well, keeping tabs with him, the only guy who could get close to him. So for me, that is why he gets an A. I totally understand if you want to give some of the drivers or the team a B. I would not argue that, but for me, because of the momentum of the team, because of how the drivers are doing right now, I'm giving them all A's. If they fall short in terms of the Constructors' Championship, or Norris and Piastri make some mistakes in the second half of the season, then I would downgrade them to a B. But as it stands right now, I'm giving McLaren A overall for their drivers and for the team as well. So let's head up to the last one, Red Bull.